This morning, I thought, I was thinking last week, I thought, what can I talk about in my live this week? And of course, it occurred to me that for quite a few people, generally, wedding season for 2023 is now over, the main wedding season. Of course, there are weddings across, the winter, particularly around Christmas time. There's lots of weddings, and perhaps Valentine's Day, and there are weddings dotted about, but sort of the main season is your sort of April, May to September-ish. That's when you're going to get most of your bookings. So of course the winter months are the time that you can spend building your business, planning for next year, that kind of thing. So I thought I'd just go through some of the things that I do. There's been some suggestions. Louise had a brilliant suggestion that I'll talk about. And I'll show you a few websites of things that you might find useful as well. I'm good, thank you, Gwen. Yes, it has been a while, hasn't it? But it's lovely to see you here. Thanks for joining us. I'm sure you will have some insights as well. Do share some tips and things if you have them. I'd say the more the merrier, really. Oh, excuse me. Quick sip of tea. So I would say the main thing is, a lot of this is obvious. A lot of it is stating the obvious, particularly, for someone like me who's been doing it for a few years. But I always think that actually, if you're new to something, someone's obvious is something that you might not know. So I'll just go through things that for some might be obvious, but for some might be, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I wasn't sure about that. So that's quite useful. So the main thing that I do over the winter for all my bits, because I've got various sort of streams of business, I make sure that I plan properly for 2024. I do it in a sort of fairly long and convoluted way, but basically what I end up with are my goals for the year. I end up with income targets, so financial goals as well as business goals and personal goals. And I work out what I need to sell to reach those targets, and that's what I work on. Generally December time, so that when I've reached January, I'm sort of hitting the ground running. I'm not sure I like that phrase, but you know what I mean. So that's what I do, and I end up with a year overview. I did this in Rise Together last week. A year overview. I look at my year, and for me, it's moderately easy, my planning, because I haven't got small children. My children are grown up. I'm on my own. I can basically do what I like. So it's quite nice, really. So I can put in my holidays where I want to. In fact, next year, I'm probably not going to have a holiday, but I'm going to redecorate. So I need to block out 2 weeks to do that. If you're, obviously, if you're someone with children, you might want to block out certain times, half terms, whatever. So you end up with an overview, so you know what your year looks like, where you've got things booked already, and where you've got gaps that you need to fill. So if you've got, for example, if you're spending a lot of the summer holidays with your children, of course you are, you might decide that actually you're going to have 2 weeks in August where you're not going to do any weddings at all. It might be, but you haven't quite yet filled out June or July yet. So your winter time is going to be spent concentrating on how to get those bookings. So that's one thing I do over the winter. I look at next year, I plan it out. I have an overview in my head of what's happening generally where. Okay. Hang on, where are my notes? Here they are. I sort out my, it sounds very grand, but I sort out my strategies. Oh, excuse me, it's that tea. I sort out my strategies, my visibility strategies. So I plan out basically what I'm going to do on social media. I plan out my blogs, my blog titles, and where I'm going with my blogs. Any lives I'm doing, I'll try and sketch out, although sometimes it's a bit, I'll do a live then, but I don't know what it's going to be yet. But I always try and put them in the diary so I know when they're going to be. I look at any PR I want to get for next year. So this year I had a goal of getting, I think it was into 3 nationals. And I managed, I think I did 3. One big one, Prima was the big one, but I did get in some others as well. So, and of course you need to prepare and do things to achieve that. So that was my goal. And of course PR is vital for, for us as businesses. We need to be seen. If you're not seen, you're not going to get any sales. So visibility, social media, PR, all that, I sketch plan it out. I know exactly, where I'm going. Next year, I may well think about starting a podcast. That's what I'm going to look at in December, planning out how I'm going to do that, because I love the idea of doing a podcast. So one of the things is planning, strategy, looking at next year, deciding sort of what it looks like, where I'm going with it, what my goals and targets are. That's basically the first thing that I do. And then what I do, and I say Louise suggested this as well, so I'll make sure I'm talking about this. It's looking at trends for next year. What's popular, what's not. Now, I think I did a live a few weeks ago. Hitched had put up a trends for 2024. So look in the guides in the group and you'll find it's a few months back. But it's really important for us wedding cake people to keep an eye on that, to keep an eye on the trends, keep an eye on what's going on, across the whole of the industry. So look at what venues are doing, look what photographers are doing, look at what dress designers are doing, look at what venues are doing, all those things, because then that gives you, when you're talking to couples and they mention things, you have a real good insight as to what they're talking about, and you can advise them as well as someone, on the inside of the industry. And this is again why it's important, for example, when you do fairs and things, to really connect with the other exhibitors there, so your florists and your photographers and your who else, talk about them, about what they're doing, what they're going on, what new things they're up to, those kind of things. So you can talk to your couples really, as an expert of what you do. It's really quite impressive when I'm talking to someone that I'm buying a service from or a product from, and they can talk really coherently, not just about what they're selling me, but about the everything around it as well. It's so much more impressive, isn't it? You feel much more confident that this person is really knowing what they're about. Good places to look to start with, I've got them down here. Hitched. Now I actually pay for Hitched. I'm on the directory, but they also have blogs and articles. They have real weddings. They survey all the couples. At the beginning of next year, they'll bring out the 2023 survey, which is from the survey that they take, and it gives us all sorts of really useful information. But yeah, they have articles, they have real weddings, and they can spot trends as well, and they will do things about things that are popular in all areas of weddings. So that's Hitched. Rock My Wedding, they do a blog as well. They have lots of articles about things that are trending, things that are popular, things that are coming up. And The Knot, that's another one. I've got a feeling The Knot is US based. I can't remember whether it is or not. But even if it's US based, things travel over here anyway. Trends will travel. So keep an eye on those. If you've got a spare minute, I often do this. I'll finish for the day in my office and I'll take my laptop downstairs, watch a bit of telly or listen to some music, and I'll just sort of faff about, and I might pop onto Hitched and see what's going on, or I might pop onto Rock My Wedding and see what's going on. And you can just sort of generally get a you can do that sort of informally for yourself, just to keep, you know, to keep your knowledge up of what's going on, really. And then you can sort of dive more deeply into cake trends. The things that I've found so far, I've been having a look and seeing, it seems that things to do with texture, cake texture, are coming up. You know, different textures of buttercream, different textures of you know, round, smooth things, and you know, concretey kind of feely things. You know what I mean there. So sort of the idea of having cakes with different textures seems to be coming up. But I shall carry on having a look and seeing. A good place to look for trends for cakes actually is Pinterest. Go onto Pinterest and just put wedding cake in there. If you haven't got a Pinterest account, you need one, because a lot of couples, and dare I say brides, will be looking on there, and often a Google search for wedding cakes or images of wedding cakes will bring up Pinterest results. Pinterest is brilliant for getting your keywords in there, your description. You can have your name, your wedding cakes, your area that you're from, and it all gives Google something to look for as well as Pinterest itself. So get yourself into Pinterest. But look on there as well, because you can see, if you just put wedding cakes, or even wedding cakes 2024, I haven't tried that yet, I might do that, and just see what it comes up with. Because you have, you know, you have the high-end, really, you know, I'd say the high-end wedding designers are the ones that set the trends for the rest of us. It's the same with fashion, you know, your high-end fashion, your catwalk fashion. It looks ridiculous more often than not, but there are elements of those that filter down to the high street, and it's exactly the same with cakes. So you might see sort of high-end cakes, and you might think, oh, you know, you might think, I mean, my first thoughts often are, you know, if I was getting married, I wouldn't have that anywhere near it, you know. But it's the fact that there's elements that filter down, that people say, oh, you know, I like the way it's done that, or I like the shapes of that, or I like the textures of that. And that's what filters down. So keep an eye on those top designers, and they generally can be found in Pinterest as well. So get into Pinterest. It's addictive, I warn you. Once you get in there, you'll not come out for days. Make sure you take sandwiches. So yeah, so that's to do with trends. And the other big thing with trends and things that are coming out. Oh, hello, Nicola. Hello, Nicola. Oh, Gwyn, what have you said? Wafer and rice paper seem to be becoming popular. Yes, they are, aren't they? You've got 3 booked in for that. Yeah. And you see a lot of those on Pinterest as well. The rice and coloured rice paper, and the shapes, and the again, that's a texture thing. I think that's where that's coming. But yeah, that's brilliant. The other thing with trends, if you don't know about the Pantone colour of the year, you're about to, because I'm going to show you what that is. And in fact, I'm going to share my screen and go onto their website. The Pantone colour of the year comes out, I think it's sort of mid-December. And they say this is, you know, this is the colour for next year. But I'll show you the website because you'll see what I mean. Let's go there. Let's go there. Hang on. Oh, what I should have done, of course, was put it in first before we started, but I'm not that organised. Oh, there it is. I was looking at it earlier. So scroll down, look, find the Pantone website, not anyone else's, when you're looking for this. Here we go. It's going to be announced in 13 days. So what's that? Yeah, sort of beginning of December. These here are the previous ones. So last year, or this year's, was Viva Magenta. And in fact, if you scroll down, it gives you all sorts of, you know, doodahs to do that. Year before, it was that lovely, I love that colour, periwinkle, a sort of a bluey, velvety, blue belly kind of colour, gorgeous colour that. Year before it was yellow and grey. They did 2, which is rather interesting. And so you can see, I mean, it goes, there was 2 there. You can see it goes way, way back. So each year they have a colour of the year. I was having a look. In fact, the site that is at the top here, it reckons it's going to be something orangey. And in fact, this one says that it's already there, but Pantone itself haven't announced it yet. So I wonder if it is going to be that orange colour. But once you know what this colour of the year is, of course, you can then start to create things with that colour. And of course, your social media, you can fill up with images with this colour of the year. And you'll find that others do it too. Pinterest will suddenly be full of it. You know, all the people that follow trends will be using it. So that's Pantone. You can actually sign up here to get, you know, the details when they send them out. So that's quite a useful thing to do. So there we go. I think last year I had a few cakes in this colour, or flowers, or whatever it was in this colour already. So I was able to put some things up already. And for that one, I think for that one, I actually created some. But yeah, if you're going to build your portfolio, which is another thing on my list, actually using this colour of the year is quite a useful thing to do, of course. So there we go. So that's the colour of the year. Kerry is here. Hello, Kerry. Hello. So keep an eye on that. I will try, once it's out, I will perhaps pop something in the group as well. And we'll see if it is orange. I wonder. It'll be interesting to see, won't it? That other website was right. So yes, so we've had planning out your year, planning and strategy. We've had looking at trends, keeping up to date with what's going on. You know, the high end wedding industry, which filters down to, not that I'm saying that we're not high end, but we're not high end, are we? we're not sort of £20,000 for our cakes or anything like that. Much as I'd love to be. So yeah, so research trends. I mentioned it just now, portfolio. You want to be looking at your portfolio, creating fresh images. Hopefully you've had enough cakes this year, pictures of them, so that you can, you know, add those. But it's always good to, you know, create new things, try out new techniques, new ideas, new colours, that you can start, you know, showing couples, you know, this is a new trend, or this is new for this year. I mean, you can call it your new collection or whatever it is if you like. Although if you're bespoke, you're not going to have set cakes, are you? But some kind of, you know, this is what I'm working on, or this is new for this year kind of vibe is quite nice. New flavours. I try and spend a few days, sometimes up to a week, you know, researching new flavours, and then trying some out. I'll never forget trialing rose. Oh my word, I really misjudged how much rose, and I used flavouring rather than rose water. I put rose flavouring in it and I misjudged it. Luckily it was only for, you know, me trying it out. But honestly, I tasted it for days afterwards. It was a steep learning curve, that rose. But I have had people that have ordered rose flavours for their cakes. I've got the recipe right since then, of course. But, you know, looking at new combinations of flavours. I mean, I tend to, I mean, it's a little bit naughty, isn't it? But I go on to, you know, the high-end wedding, you know, the top London wedding ones, and see what their flavours are. You know, pistachio and something or other, and Earl Grey tea and something or other. You know, Brussels sprout and alfalfa, whatever it is. But you can, you know, you can spend a few days in your kitchen having a nice time, just trying out new flavours, trying out new combinations, because if you can, you know, put on your social media, you know, our new flavors for this year are this, that's something that's, you know, very engaging. And of course you could, on your social media, you can, you know, put your new flavors, and you can do one of those this or that. You can do a poll, or you can, you know, on your stories you can do the little click-on-y things, can't you? So you can use all that to help engagement as well as anything else. So look up new flavors, try them out. Just beware with the rose. Tiny bit of flavoring is all you need. No. I can still feel it in my mouth as I speak about it. It was like I'd eaten soap. Anyway, so yes, so new flavors, new portfolio, new this, that, and the other. What else have I got on here anymore? Oh yeah, Nicola got 16. Oh, 16 for burnt orange. I wonder if that will. Yes, I like burnt orange. In fact, my Cake International was on that. It's up the top there. Was sort of a orangey kind of vibe. So perhaps everyone's going orange this year. Yeah, lavender. Yeah, but again, yeah, just be careful. I must admit, I'm not keen on those flavors, but of course other people love them, so you have to be you know, you have to be showing that you can do them. Chocolate, Guinness and blackcurrant and strawberry, all three of those together. Guinness and blackcurrant and strawberry, or Guinness and blackcurrant and strawberry. Nicola, you've got to tell me, I'm intrigued about this. Is that Guinness and blackcurrant and strawberry all together? Tell me. Cucumber, or is it, oh, I see, no, it's Guinness and blackcurrant and then strawberry, cucumber and Pimm's. Yes, is that right? Fantastic. Fantastic. So we're all going to go off to our kitchen and work out how to do Guinness and blackcurrant now. But I love strawberry, cucumber and Pimm's. I love the idea of that. Fantastic. Off we go to our kitchen, get the Pimm's out. If any of it actually reaches the cake, then that would be a miracle. Perhaps we'll do another thread in here of, you know, flavors that we're trying out and flavors that we that are popular. That would be quite a nice one to do, wouldn't it? Yes, 2 separate ones. Oh dear, imagine Guinness, blackcurrant and strawberry. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. What else have I got here? Oh, pricing. Yes, take the opportunity sort of at the end of the year and the beginning of the new year to go over your pricing, go over your overheads to make sure they're right, because things will change, you know, energy bills change, everything changes. So take an afternoon just to make sure that your overheads are correct, and, you know, update any pricing systems that you have to make sure that what you're quoting for next year and the year after, excuse me, is going to be spot on for you. I think that's it. Do you know? I think that's it. Oh yeah, and then of course there's all the usual, you know, trying to get bookings, looking out for fairs. I mean, I should think some of you have probably got those booked already. I tend not to do fairs, it must be said, for various reasons. But yeah, get into fairs, get consultations happening, get taster boxes going. I know of bakers that don't do any taster boxes in wedding season itself. So in the summer, they do all their taster boxes over the winter. I tend not to. I tend to do them sort of once a month, as and when they're requested. I try to batch them. Obviously, you don't do all individual ones, but you batch them. But I will do them over the summer if they're needed. But it might be that you plan in some taster box weeks and then you promote that as part of, you know, this week I'm going to be making taster boxes this week. If you want one, let me know. I've actually created an inquiry form just for taster boxes. I did it using Jotform, and that's on my website. So it can be filled in, drop down menu for flavours, all that kind of stuff. So try and promote that, because obviously if you can get a few of those out, that leads to sales, doesn't it? So yeah, and just promoting your any consultations or how you do that. I start with an online one and then go to in person if it's required. Not everyone wants one of those though, but I tend to promote those. Fairs if you're going to any, and that's sort of it really. That's sort of a roundup of what I do over the winter. And of course I've got my training, the business school as well, so I do a lot of that during the winter as well. But when it comes to wedding cakes, those are the kinds of things that I'm doing to get ready for next year. So yes, I'm getting booked up already for next year, a few the year after as well. They're coming in. In fact, I think I've had 3 this week for next year, which is rather good. We love that. Yes, so that's how we do it. So we're planning, overview planning, looking at trends, new flavors, and updating your portfolio, and then just getting out there and making yourself seen, encouraging people to either buy taster boxes or to come and talk to you about their weddings. Okie dokie. There we are. Thank you for joining me, folks. It's lovely to have you here, and to I think I've seen all the comments and questions and things. No questions, but comment. But yeah, it's great to have you here. So we'll definitely look out on the burnt orange, Nicola. We'll see if it's going to be some kind of orangey colour. But the Pantone website is really good for colour, actually, because that's obviously what they do. And I was having a look through it, and there's sort of all sorts of things on, colour mixing and colour matching and all sorts of things, which is something that we need to know about, really, don't we? So that's a good resource for you. Excellent. Right. Lovely. Thank you for joining me, folks. I'm off now to actually clean my house because it's a mess. Because I have nothing to do over the weekend. No cakes. Oh no, I have actually. I've got a taster box to do, so I better get that done. But other than that, I'm cleaning my house. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. I will do a live during December on something. I know not what yet, but it'll be in December sometime. All right. Okay. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you soon. Bye.